100 years ago, the Walt Disney Company was founded, and I am celebrating and spending that 100th anniversary at Walt Disney World. And I am starting out my evening on today, to the day, the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company at Hollywood Studios. This is probably the closest I have ever parked to Hollywood Studios. I'm pretty much in the front row right now. Also, the trams are back at Hollywood Studios and at Epcot as well, so that is really cool, but I'm not going to be using the trams. So I've made it through security and I'm heading inside Hollywood Studios just for a little bit, pretty much just to scan inside the park because I still have to do that. So I made it inside Hollywood Studios, and I'm also actually heading all the way down here because I'm going to One Man's Walt Disney Presents. Hollywood Studios closes in about an hour, but One Man's Walt Disney Presents closes in like 15 minutes. I can never not call it One Man's Dream. Once you call it a certain name so many times, it's just ingrained, like MGM. But I'm going over to Walt Disney Presents for a particular reason. Also because today is the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, but I also want to see something that's sort of cool that they allegedly added to Walt Disney Presents. And a decent amount of speed walking later, there's Walt Disney Presents just right behind the Chinese theater. Just barely in time, with like 10 minutes to spare. I made it to One Man's Dream, Walt Disney Presents, whatever. So right now I'm looking for a reference to the founding of the company in 1923, which should be somewhere over here, presumably. They'd have a reference to it, right? Did I miss it? So I'm not finding a specific reference to 1923. That pretty much jumps from 1917 to 1924 over there, but I do like this quote. Roy was one of the kindest fellows I've ever known in my life. Walt Disney said that. I'm gonna put that on a shirt and wear it every day. This is sort of what I'm looking for over here. It says 1924, but the Walt Disney Company itself was founded on October 16th, 1923 as the Disney Brothers cartoon studio. So what else that I'd like to see is going to be down here. They apparently added a new model of Disneyland right around the corner over here. They used to have Walt's office over here, and they added the new model for Disneyland. So this is the model that I wanted to see. This is the opening day of Disneyland. This was apparently created for the 50th anniversary of Disneyland, and it showcases what opening day would have looked like on July 17th, 1955. So there's Fantasyland in the back, there's Tomorrowland, and then Frontierland and Adventureland, and Main Street USA. They're about to close One Man's Dream. Walt Disney Presents, oh my god, for the evening. But I'm so glad that I got to see this. It would have been really cool to see some sort of commemorative date about October 16th, 1923. But this was so incredible to see this. It is so much bigger in person if you're ever here to see this. And just to see the different lands and how much it's changed, especially after having gone there just a few months ago, just to see what Fantasyland is. And it's somewhat still the same. There's still the Casey Jr. train, and then the Fantasyland canal boats, and then Dumbo, and then the carousel back there. And then Adventureland is pretty identical for the most part with Jungle Cruise, and then there's the riverboat back here. This is all Galaxy's Edge now. To see what Frontierland is now is so interesting. And then the minimalistic Tomorrowland, and then just this entire side of the park that is so much more developed and interesting now. I don't know, this was cool. I got to see that with just a couple minutes to spare, but now I can head over to Magic Kingdom. Do I take a bus or do I drive? Because what better place to spend the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company than actually at Magic Kingdom? I was thinking about taking the bus, but I parked so close, I should probably just drive, right? And then I can maybe watch the fireworks, happily ever after. I think I sort of mumbled through that, happily ever after. But that should be starting pretty much right now, and it's a pretty long show, so if I can make it in my car, maybe I can watch it on the drive. So I had to come to Hollywood Studios today because this was the only park that had a reservation still. Magic Kingdom and Epcot and even Animal Kingdom did not have park reservations for me, so I had to come here to scan here so I can park up. This lighting is wild, but how weird is that, right? Just a few years ago, that would have been just unheard of, that Hollywood Studios was the only park you could actually get into, or I could. This is actually sort of interesting. So I can hear Fantasmic, and I believe Epcot Forever should be starting, as well as Happily Ever After over at Magic Kingdom. There's a lot going on, and the buses are way over there, but I think I am going to go ahead and just drive because I'm right there. The idea is that I would have been able to take a bus to the very front of Magic Kingdom, and then I could have taken a bus back, but I'm right here, so this is more convenient, I think. So I've made it over to the Magic Kingdom Toll Plaza entrance, and the fireworks are absolutely happening. You can sort of see them right behind the trees there. I presume that you are able to. I'm just holding the camera next to my head while I'm trying to drive. Tinkerbell just flew down. I can hear the music this far away I can hear the music for the finale. That's pretty cool. And I parked so far away. There's the finale right now happening. I just ran over as quick as I could to see it. Hooray! So I did decide to take the tram because I parked in the very back of the Magic Kingdom parking lot, so I was not about to walk that distance. It's also cold, so it's a little brisk. It's a little chilly right now, which I very much so enjoy. I'm wearing a jacket and jeans, and I am happy. This will only last a very minimal amount of time, though, unfortunately. All right, I've made it through security, and I'm hoping to try to hop onto that monorail. It shouldn't be too busy getting onto the monorail, but it will be busy at Magic Kingdom. So after getting inside Magic Kingdom, pretty much my first itinerary item is to just get some food. I'm hungry. Passing through the Contemporary right now. It'd be fun to go to Chet Mickey's at some point, maybe in the future. That'd be kind of neat, right? It's not as busy as I anticipated it being right now, but it's certainly getting there. The park is open until 11 o'clock tonight, which is probably a good reason why it's not that packed right now. So I made it off of the monorail, heading down the stairs instead of the ramp because I just like to be different sometimes, and I'm going to get some food inside Magic Kingdom on the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. I guess that does look a little bit busy, right? People are just now starting to exit the park pretty much. What's really incredible is that it's only about 8:30 right now, so it only took me about 30 minutes to make it from Walt Disney Presents all the way over to Magic Kingdom. The Not So Scary Party nights are starting to be a little bit more consistent with it being October now, so the in-between days are going to be very busy. I need to see what's open for food because I am absolutely starving right now. So I'm trying to see if there's any 100th anniversary exclusive snacks at any of the various restaurants, and it doesn't look like it. So what I think I'm going to do is ask myself a question that everyone loves to ask around here, which is what would Walt do? How would Walt celebrate such a commemorative milestone in his company's history? And I think what he would do is get a hot dog. Okay, so I put in my order, and now I'm heading all the way down to Casey's Corner to hopefully pick it up by the time that I get there. I'm really hoping that I'm going to be looking up at the crowds right now because everyone seems to be heading out of the park. I'm also considering going over to Starbucks because it's pretty cold, and I wouldn't mind like a hot festive beverage. I was going to go into Starbucks, or I did. I walked over there, but the line was a little bit too busy. So I'm going to just wait over here for my hot dog first. So it took a little while, but I'm inside Casey's Corner, ready to get my hot dog, probably more than I should have gotten. So I have my hot dog, and I'm going to try to find a place to eat this, maybe across from Casey's Corner over by the ice cream parlor. So I figured that it would probably be busy over there, which it is. But it might not be busy here because not many people are going to be getting ice cream because it's cold. Okay, so I finished up with my hot dog, my foot-long hot dog, and now I am going to Starbucks. It looks like the lines are a little bit less intense now, so hopefully I can get some sort of a hot beverage. I'm hoping to get something pumpkin spice maybe, or apple crisp, just something warm. Okay, so I got my pumpkin spice latte, and then I got a little pumpkin loaf too. Now it's time to actually go and explore the park. People are still heading out of the park now, and it's still open for like over an hour. Right now everyone's shooting their pictures in front of the castle right now, but I still have an entire hour to explore Magic Kingdom before it closes at 11 o'clock. I'd like to do some rides that may have some sort of significance with just Disney animation and celebration of the Walt Disney Company. Probably like Peter Pan's Flight. This pumpkin spice latte is so warm, and it's not cold, it's just slightly, there's like a chill, a brisk in the air at the moment, and this is just so amazing. I'm so glad that I got this. It was a little bit of a long wait, but it was worth it. I walked through the castle, and I could definitely ride the carousel. That could be a pretty appropriate ride. I need to find somewhere to eat my pumpkin loaf, though, which I am really excited for this. I didn't think I'd be getting any of this, just as far as a hot drink, because I was thinking about getting like the frozen mint julep over at Casey's Corner, but it's frozen and it's cold outside. Why would I do that? So an update, my loaf is delicious, my pumpkin loaf and my pumpkin spice latte, and what I think I might do is actually head over to the teacups. I love the carousel, but as far as significance to the actual celebration of the 100th anniversary of Disney, I think Alice in Wonderland has a little bit more significance, as well as Snow White, obviously, but that is an hour wait at the moment. You know what though? This entire line is like empty. I'm getting in line for this. This is pretty dark at the moment, but there was nobody pretty much at all in the outdoor queue over there. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Yeah, there's no line at all outside right now, so this cannot be an hour-long wait. Absolutely not. The line's a little bit lengthy inside, but once you're inside, it shouldn't be too long, much longer than like 15 to 20 minutes, maybe at most. Okay, so I actually ended up getting out of line because it really wasn't moving at all. It was moving pretty quick, and then it wasn't, and now the line is very backed up. But I wanted to make sure that I rode one ride today, and that is Peter Pan's Flight. I wanted to ride the teacups for the significance of the relevance of the ride, but if there was a ride that actually meant something to me in terms of the Walt Disney Company, it would be Peter Pan's Flight. I think when I think about just what Disney means to me personally, especially when it comes to theme parks and Disney animation, it really is Peter Pan's Flight. Just when I would come to Disney World as a kid and I would ride that ride, it was just a ride of comfort. So right now Peter Pan's Flight is posting a 25-minute wait and the park closes in about 10 minutes. This ride also has another layer of nostalgia to it that I've actually never talked about before. Okay, I'm heading into the nursery now, and I'm hoping it's not too incredibly busy. It's not bad. I'm looking for Tinkerbell. It's somewhere in here. Okay, now the line's moving very quickly. Tinkerbell actually does interact with some of these stagnant elements of this room, and it's really neat. There's also a Play Disney app game that you can play in here. And just like that, the park is closed. They've closed up the lines. It is 11 o'clock at night. Okay, I'm getting into my boat right now. I'm in a yellow boat. Oh man. That's okay though. Yay, that wasn't bad at all. That was like a 5-minute wait, maybe at most. And here I go, heading off to Neverland.
Pixie dust, and off we go!
Currently flying over London. This really never gets old. It's always been hard to see because of the mast of these boats. But this camera helps. 24 frames a second doesn't really help. But there it is. That was Peter Pan's Flight, my 1000th ride, probably on this attraction. And definitely not my last. Alright, just got off of Peter Pan's Flight. That was fun. So my little fun tidbit of knowledge about Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World is that I used to work here. For about 15 months, over a year, I worked at Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World back in 2021. Never said that before, and I don't know, it felt like an appropriate time to sort of share that, and a lot of people that watch this channel actually met me at Peter Pan's Flight when I was working there. And how that worked is, in my previous department, I was furloughed from the position and then displaced into attractions after the parks opened back up, and I worked at that ride. It was very random that I ended up there, but I worked at Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World for sort of a long time before I eventually moved out of that position. I don't work in attractions anymore, but that is a very, very much more sentimental ride to me now, even on top of how it was like my favorite ride ever when I was a kid and throughout coming here. All the years that I've ever come to Disney, so to work there was cool. Which is funny because my Disney career started in Fantasyland. I worked at Dumbo and Barnstormer almost 10 years ago, and I've been working for Disney for 10 years. I still work for Disney, and I sort of keep that information a little bit more private these days. I've also worked at Jungle Cruise, so I'd say that I've worked at some pretty iconic Disney attractions in my time as a cast member. I just think that that's a fun part of my life now that I can say that I worked at Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World after the pandemic. Like, it's I don't know, it's interesting. A ride that's just so nostalgically important to me, and that I actually get to work there. Of course, my favorite position was the pixie dusting load position. That was a lot of fun. We'll have some more fun Disney stories and secrets to share someday, probably in the future. But for now, that was just something that I wanted to finally share, and I think that's a really fun way to do it, especially on today, the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company, a company that I've been a part of for 10 years of my life and that I've enjoyed my entire life. This is what I love. I love coming to this place and finding new ways to make it fun and relatable and interesting, and really just enjoying the storytelling and immersion and atmosphere and innovation that the people that work at this company provide for everybody that enjoys it. I don't know when the next time we're going to be coming back to Magic Kingdom. We're not going to a Halloween party this year, unfortunately. So maybe the next time we come back, it'll be Christmas time. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back for some Halloween ambiance. Maybe not, because Halloween's in like 2 weeks. There's this 100 Years of Wonder collection here of merchandise. Minnie and Mickey are meeting in their 100-year anniversary outfits at Epcot. So there's still like a celebration happening. It's not just today. Today is just the day. Disney also animated a Once Upon a Studio, I think it was called, short that utilized so many different animated characters from all of their movies, like all of the Walt Disney Studio movies, which I've yet to see that, but I'm very excited to. I've heard incredibly positive reviews about that, and I certainly hope that that guy is in there with his face. I do sort of wish that Disney World did a little bit more for the 100th anniversary because I think Hong Kong debuted a brand new statue of Walt and Mickey, and then Disneyland Paris had like a 100 characters running around today in Disneyland Paris to celebrate the 100-year anniversary, and then here, as far as I know, nothing really spectacular happened. I guess Journey of Water did open over at Epcot today, like officially today was the opening day of Journey of Water, but I don't know, does that count? Also, I am considerably happy that I did not take the bus because there's pretty much no line for the monorail right now, but in case I don't see you anymore, jack-o'-lantern, pumpkins, I don't know. It was good to see you again. There's the monorail right now, but I'll probably have to wait for the next one. There's a little bit of a line, but it's not terrible. All right, I made it back to the TTC, and I'm about to take a tram back to my car because I am not walking all the way back to my car. That would be unfortunate. And I just made it off of the tram, and I'm heading all the way down to my car, way down here, somewhere in this area. Just the beautiful serenading sounds of a theme park parking lot. So almost made it to my car. Thank you for coming with me today to Hollywood Studios, really just to scan inside the park so I could get into Magic Kingdom and also getting to see the model in Walt Disney Presents. That was really neat, but then getting to come to Magic Kingdom, just have some dinner, and then ride my favorite ride. It was a good day. It was a good way to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. Today, October 16th, 2023, 100 years ago, October 16th, 1923, I was at Magic Kingdom on the 100th anniversary. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.